Right.
Okay, now we're. Oh, this is. Wait a minute. This is Eddie Kana's one. This is actually picking up on what we talked about last time. I was going to grab this week's Cerebus numbers from Diamond, and I forgot to. Stay on the line,
Okay.
and you just have to edit this part out.
All right, will do.
Okay, I'm back. So Eddie picked up on what we had talked about on the last Please Hold about the diamond numbers, and sent an email to Matt Emery, who's my diamond rep. Questions come up about trying to promote and move any remaining Cerebus and Hell titles Diamond still has in stock. We've been advertising which issues are sold out and which are still in stock, but we're wondering if there would be any concerns if we were to mention the exact numbers of remaining issues Diamond has left, i.e., and then he cites the number of Canadian Bark and then the number of Iron Manticore, or is that information considered private and proprietary, only to be shared between Diamond and the publisher? And then he says, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first time this question has been asked. You can't say we do things the usual way around here. Thanks, and best as always, Eddie. And what he got back from Matt Emery was, hi, Eddie, attached is the current inventory for Cerebus single issues. We would prefer that exact quantities not be mentioned. We do not make our exact inventory quantities available to retailers. That said, we could say something like, quote, low stock, unquote, or, quote, almost sold out, unquote. So, bearing that in mind, just going down the list, I would say if we're talking about almost sold out, the SimCity issue after, the one that's got the teenage money nabbing Therabai in the back, that I would describe as almost sold out. And the Iron Manticore one shot is almost sold out. Those would be the only ones in that category. Low stock, Fornicators Incorporated, I would describe as low. Canadian Bark, I would describe as low. So if you haven't got those, and you're one of those people that want to have a complete set of the Cerebus and Hell number ones, those are the ones that if you can go to your store and say, can you order me one of these, I would say Iron Manticore first. Fornicators are Iron Manticore first in the almost sold out, and SimCity, the issue after, with Teenage Money nabbing Therabai in the back, that would be in that category, and Fornicators Incorporated. So there's always a bit of a delay getting the order to Diamond and then getting the books back. So if you start now, I think I can say if you did it this week, you'd probably get one. Week after that, less of a sure thing.
Okay. Did the numbers for Vark Wars #1 come in yet? Of how many Diamond's ordering?
No, we've got. Is this the latest one that I got in? Yes. These are interim numbers. We get because the numbers come in every week. We'll get one set of numbers when the retailers are starting to order, and then another set of numbers when the final numbers are coming in.
Okay.
So I can say that the numbers on Bark Wars are up from Color Your Own. I would say significantly up from the comparable numbers for Color Your Own. That is, when the first numbers were coming in for Color Your Own, they were definitely the lowest that we've ever seen. For the first batch coming in, and then they had a bigger jump from there to the subsequent numbers. Bark Wars is back actually up above what the numbers would be for the first batch of numbers. So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers do next Sunday, if they go up less the second time around, or if they still go up substantially. And I think that's all that I'm allowed to say.
Okay. I just was hoping the numbers were up because, that's the issue where, okay, let's try a gimmick of tying the issue to when the issue's released and the general pop culture and see if we can, ride that wave.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. I think Cerebus in Hell is in its own category of. I think the store owners have Cerebus in Hell buyers who don't buy every one, which is one of the drawbacks of not doing a continued story. But I wanted to trade that for the plus side of, actually, I'd like to have that for casual readers, that you don't have to buy every Cerebus in Hell #1. If you miss one, it's not as if you can't read the ones that you bought after that because you're missing part of the continuity. It's, apart from the two-issue Iron Manticore, you'd probably want to read Tales of Sophistication before you read Iron Manticore #1. And the same thing coming up with Bark Thing and House of Cerebus. I try not to let it go beyond that, so that if you just see the cover and you go, oh, that's a funny parody of that cover, pick it up, read it. You'll probably get a few laughs out of it. It might refer back to another Cerebus in Hell #1, but not in any appreciable way that you're not going to get it otherwise. Not in the way virtually all other comic books are, and certainly the way Cerebus itself was. If you don't get issue 179, you don't want to be reading 180 and 181 until you do have your 179.
Well, that's, I buy Amazing Spider-Man, and there was an issue where Mary Jane's leaving, Peter's going to meet her at the airport to say goodbye, but Spider-Man is needed type thing. The stereotypical Stan Lee story. And the reason he's needed is Peter's sister showed up and needs help. And I'm like, Peter Parker has a sister? When the hell did that happen?
Right.
And I went online and looked, and apparently they introduced that, Peter had a heretofore or previously unknown sister that was put up for adoption, and now she's back in his life, knows he's Spider-Man, she's a spy, and I'm just like, there's part of me that's going, I need to go buy these comics, and there's part of me that's going, do you really care, Matt? Do you really care that much?
You're getting old, Matt.
Well, I mean, it's.
You would have cared passionately 10 years ago. Peter Parker has a sister? Oh my gosh!
Well, and I mean, it's one of those. I'm going. Okay, he's got a sister, and I mean, they kind of draw her so she looks a little like Mary Jane. She's got red hair. For a second, I thought it was Mary Jane showed up, and then they're like, oh no, this is and they stopped doing the editor notes. There's no more little Stan saying, you remember Peter's sister from blah blah blah, and I'm like.
Right.
I understand comics have changed. I'm getting old, but I really missed the little stand captions that said, "This is what's going on. This is who that is." This is how it all ties together, so that you feel like you got your $4 worth when you bought the comic. And invariably, I mean, that's one of the things I like about Cerebus and Hell. I pay my $4. I'm entertained. I don't have to worry about, oh, hey, I missed giant-sized jingles. Is that going to affect my ability to understand what's going on in the Iron Manticore? And no, it's not.
Right. Well, I think you've got the Stan Lee caption for 2019, which is your cell phone, and you just type into it, Peter Parker's sister, and there you go. There's as much as is humanly known about Peter Parker's sister, and you can immerse yourself in that if you want.
Yeah, I know, but that's just a waste of my time.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we until Judgment Day, we don't know what's a waste of our time.
Well, that's
who knows? Maybe Peter Parker's sister was the key to everything. Well, we all missed.
I really hope that at the end of days, when we're all standing there in judgment, it's, you didn't read that issue of Spider-Man, you're going to hell forever and ever and ever.
That's it. The whole build-up was towards Peter Parker's sister and being put up for adoption and her being a spy. What do you mean you don't know her middle name? I wouldn't be betting the mortgage on that one. I do want to mention, because I think this is probably important for the Cerebus fandom, Cerebus readership. Form and Void has been out of print for years and years, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I did a big promotion with the Hemingway Society in Illinois with free back issues that they could hand out at their convention, and that ate up all of the supply of Form and Void, and we haven't been able to get Form and Void remastered because it's more important to do the earlier books than the later books. But, and this is a huge but, the last couple of weeks, Diamond's got Form and Void back in stock. Where they came from, I don't know. As Eddie Kahn has said, those things, Form and Void is going for like $100 on eBay because all of the supply has been eaten up. Amazon's supply is eaten up. Everybody who has had a Form and Void has sold it. Anybody who's got one isn't letting it out of their grasp even for a minute. But for the last 2 weeks, Diamond is showing inventory for Form and Void. So theoretically, Eddie's already ordered a couple of copies of it just to verify that it actually exists. If you're missing Form and Void and you've been trying to figure out how to get Form and Void without paying $100 for it, now would be the time to go to your comic store and go, here's the Diamond order code for Form and Void. Can you order me one of these? And hopefully you can get one before these either evaporate into the ether, which they have a tendency to do at the Star System warehouse, or they do actually exist and you can get one before everybody else gets one and they disappear that one.
Okay. So is Form and Void gonna get remastered if it sells out?